Quentin's parlor. Wait, we're coming. I wrapped a robe over Freya's body and told her I need to talk to Scott first. After I made sure she's okay, I came out of the water and made my way to Scott, who had just gotten out of the Jeep with a worried look on his face. What happened, Scott?
2 of the guests went missing from the yacht. Ethan and that mysterious girl suddenly disappeared without a trace. Mom and Dad told them not to explore the island before the ritual ends, but just this hour. We noticed they're gone from their room. Maybe they're lost or whatever. I think you both need to go back for safety purposes. We're also going for a search and rescue operation. The guys have signed up. Are you in?
Mystery girl. I thought we knew every one of the guests who attended our wedding. Of course I am. I just need to ensure Freya is safe in the house. She's drunk. I'll take her home first.
8. I'd go back now. We need to search the area as soon as possible. This is our ancestors' island. For strangers, this place could be dangerous.
I nodded. Scott was right. This island is quite dangerous, especially for strangers like the guests who don't know the way. There could be hidden traps somewhere, and a possibility of our enemies from other rogues clans infiltrating this area. Take care. We'd be right behind. Scott got back up behind the wheels and sped away. I went back to Freya, her lower body still submerged in the water. Her eyes were closed, and she had no idea that I'm staring at her, admiring her raw beauty under the majestic light of the moon. If Scott hadn't come, we could have taken our relationship to another level. The thought didn't create any negative feelings in me. In fact, I'm quite fine with it. Being with Freya these past few weeks made me more accustomed to her. I slowly opened up to her, and despite my reservations at times, I find myself liking her as a person. Her past actions puzzled me. She's shy with me most of the time, but then she gets so energetic and bold with me when she has a drink. I'm afraid all this persona she's making is only due to the influence of alcohol. The thought made me awake at the possibility that Freya is being like this to me because she's drunk.
What happened, Quent?
2 of the guests went missing suddenly. No one knows where they'd go, so we have to assemble a search and rescue team as soon as possible. The sun has not risen yet, and it could be really dangerous for both of them if they stayed here for the whole night.
A search and rescue operation.
She mumbled before looking away and being distant. Why, what's wrong? Anything wrong? You're not feeling good? You're dizzy. Wanna vomit? Should I pull up? She shook her head but didn't look at me.
No, I'm good. I'm all right.
I know something's not right. What did I say that could have caused her to act like this? I reviewed what I told her. I just repeated what Scott told me. What part in there could have triggered this kind of reaction from her? Confused because she's suddenly giving me a cold shoulder. I glanced at her side, but she's focusing her eyes too much on the road. Are you sure you're okay? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something you don't like? Again, she didn't reply. She just shook her head in denial. I just let her because I'm thinking that she's just tired. Or maybe she just wanted to doze off and can't sleep because I kept on talking. I relaxed at the thought. After a while, I looked at her again. She's not sleeping. Her eyes are still outside the car, deep in thoughts. I stopped myself from asking why again. I don't want to annoy her by asking the same question over and over again. A few more minutes before we arrived at the house, her silent treatment of me bothered me more than I could imagine. Before I could even scold myself, I stopped the engine and turned to Freya, who didn't even budge on her seat. Are you okay, Freya? You haven't talked to me since the time I told you about the incident. Is there any problem? You're not feeling well.
No, I'm all right. Just take me to the house.
I knew then that something is really not right. She's upset and it frustrates me because I don't know what the hell I did wrong. I kept asking her, but she won't respond to me anymore. I parked beside Scott's Jeep. Freya hurriedly climbed out of the car, but I was faster than her. I was able to block her and cornered her between the seats. I won't let you go until you tell me what's wrong. No, really. I'm serious. I'm not letting you get inside the house without telling me what happened. Please. But Freya is inconvincible. She averted her eyes and won't answer me. Please, Frey, tell me why you unexpectedly turned cold out of the blue. Did you change your mind? Did you regret what we did? Are you ashamed about it?
No, I'm not,
she said meekly. Then what's wrong? What did I do wrong? Come on, tell me. I don't want to end this special day like this. We already started on a good note. I can't waste it. She struggled to meet my eyes, so I cradled her face in my hands. Please tell me what it is. I can't forever guess what's on your mind.
I know.
She finally answered.
I just don't want you to go. Please don't go to Tyler tonight. Quint.
She whispered truthfully, a ray of desperation and sadness in her low voice. The first thing I felt after hearing her answer is shock and then confusion right after. Why would she think that I would go to Tyler when I told her that I'm going to the search and rescue operation for the 2 missing guests? What? I wouldn't go to Tyler. I will join in searching for the 2 missing guests. I know the area better than the others. I've spent a considerable time here when I was young, so I know the terrain best. With me around, we could have a better chance to find them. And what made you think I will go to her, Freya? I waited for her to answer me, but she just looked down and closed her mouth. I waited for her to answer me, but she just looked down and closed her mouth. That feeling confusion came back. Why did she suddenly become bothered with Tyler? I have to smack myself for even asking that. Of course, she would be worried for Tyler and me being together again. I made all the reasons why she would be wary of her. Things have drastically changed now. We're officially married and we're in the middle of celebrating it. If guests see us together, they might think we're cheating behind Freya on the night of our wedding. I could only imagine other rumors they could produce from that scene alone. Freya must have just been thinking about our reputation. She doesn't want us to be embroiled in yet another controversy again. That's why she's asking me not to go to Tyler tonight. I understand why you're doing this. You're protecting our names that could be dragged again in another mess, but Frey, let me assure you that I'm not going to Tyler tonight. I swear, I'm just going to help the rescuers and the other volunteers to look for the missing people. Come on, believe me. I'm telling you the truth. Finally, she met my eyes and nodded with a small smile at the end of her mouth. I released a heavy sigh and tapped her head. Finally.
If you're going, then I'm going to. I wanted to help find them. They're my guests too,
she said after a while. I stepped back to give her some space and then carried her into my arms.
Quint, put me down. I can walk now. Don't treat me like I'm incapable,
she complained. No, you're still drunk. You might trip or do something stupid again. Let me take care of you first before I go.
But I wanted to go to you.
No, you stay here in the room and sleep. Take a rest. Today was an exhausting one. We've traveled across the seas for hours, and I can't let you go with us into the woods. It would be dangerous. Who knows what would happen? You stay here? It's safer here?
How about you? You said it would be dangerous.
She uttered in worry. And take care of myself. We're all men in the group who can easily call for our wolves inside us. Apart from that, we're all trained to do this, Freya. We're all strong, so no need to worry about us. I'll be back here before sunrise. She fell silent before nodding.
I understand. Please take care, Quint.
I will. Now go to sleep. I turned off the lights and went out of the room in a hurry. If I don't, then I could really kiss her again and again. Her lips looked so inviting talking back in the room. Turning up into the hallway, I bumped into Tyler, who pulled me into the door of her room, but she wasn't successful when I told her that I cannot talk to her today.
How could you kiss her in front of me?
She started right away.
Don't you dare deny it. You responded to her. I saw it with my own eyes.
I'm not denying it, I replied coldly. Freya's drunk. She's just actually thinking about us, how we could be entangled in a rumor again, so she did that to save us.
I still love you, Quint. My feelings are clearer this time. I know you still love me too. I can feel it. I love you, Quentin Black. I love you so much, my mate.
That's the scene that Freya walked us into. With a betrayed expression on her face, she turned her back to us to return to our room. Freya. Frey, it's not what you think. I ran towards her and were able to obstruct the door with my hand before she could close it. Frey, I'm telling you the truth. It's not what you think. She just wants to talk with me. You're misunderstanding things. Her face says she's not convinced. Worse is, I can read in her eyes that she believes I'm lying.
I saw what I saw, Quint. In the end, it'll always be Tyler. You lied to me. You know what? You don't really have to explain to me. Get back to Tyler. Don't worry about me.
She shut off the door right in my face. I banged on it, called for her again and again until my voice gets raspy, but she never opened the door. Look what you did. Now what would I tell her this time to make her believe that I'm not lying to her? Frustrated and scared, I lashed at Tyler, who stood there unapologetic with what happened. She didn't even care to clear out to Freya about her misconception of seeing us both. Tyler's eyes squinted and tears making me feel guilty for raising my voice at her.
You've changed, Quint. You've completely changed after marrying Freya. You broke the promise you gave me as your mate.
You promised we would be forever, but look what happened now. It pains me to say this, but you're not the man that I used to love so much anymore.